There are moments when even the most confident girls question themselves. It happens to all of us. I was one of those confident girls, but I questioned myself 1,000 times. I still question myself. And I think what happens is that comparison creeps in, right? Identity gives way to comparison. And we know that comparison is the thief of joy. I still struggle with this today because I've had so many difficult moments in my life and wondering why me? I still struggle with that. I wish I would have had somebody early on help me with this, especially because everyone has different reasons when they're young girls for having these struggles. For me, I was a redhead. And in most of the schools, I switched schools like every 2 years because we're always moving. And in most of those schools, I was the only redhead except for my brother. And and it was kind of weird, it was weird to be different. And kids, being kids, would tease me, right? Call me Carrot Top. And of course, being the girl I was, I would say carrots have green tops. But you know what I mean? We don't want to be different when we're kids. And I just wish that I would have known this when I was one. It seems like, especially now, girls want to be anyone but themselves. So we've stopped embracing what makes us unique, what makes us special. And now we're trying to conform. In fact, so in our Lovadoos Adventure series, our first one is Blair and the Forgotten Flames. And we definitely deal with, in this fun and magical story that is so, edge of your seat, we deal with self-worth and self-doubt. In the fourth book in our series, our hero, our character, is going to be one that is going to help this land learn that it is good to be unique, to embrace who you are. And so I think that what happens to girls, I mean, you remember, it is approval that we crave. It gets louder, and approval becomes more important than truth. So, yes, Lovadoos is all about adventure stories, but at the core of all of it, we're actually seeing girls seeing themselves in these heroes. These are stories that they can identify with. And so what we have is characters who are struggling with something, who are swept into this magical adventure. And then when they come home, there's a shift, there's a switch. Something is different. They are still who they are, but something has happened. They found their courage. And the courage is to be who they are, to face hard things. These are all things, again, I so wish that I would have had when I was a girl. The stories that I remember the most are typically the ones where girls stood up and found their courage. Those are the stories in any facet of life. People who stand up and fight, those are the ones that inspire us to believe that we can too. So that's what we're doing with Lovadoos. And certainly with our first story in the adventure, Blair and the Forgotten Flames, it's really going to not only be fun, but like I said, we're going to see more and more girls using these stories to believe in themselves at an early age. If you want to see how Blair's story unfolds, check out the link in the video.